James here with part 2 of our tactical preparedness training videos. In this lesson, we'll show you how to defend yourself against one of the most pressing threats against honest, freedom-loving Americans such as ourselves. Zombies! Now, first we'll start with a little bit of background information about zombies, like, where do they come from, Steve?
Well, zombie, the disease actually originated in Finland back in the 1920s as a chemical weapon.
It was transferred to America by pop singer Bjork.
The first recorded death was actually Marilyn Monroe.
Modern-day zombies include Marilyn Manson, Trent Reznor of the Nine Inch Nails, Amy Lee of Evanescence,
And Rob Zombie.
Also true. Now, you may be wondering, how do I identify a zombie?
Well, they're usually eating someone's brains.
And they also usually smell like decaying flesh and patchouli oil.
They can walk with an awkward, slow gait.
And they usually have a vacant stare, they're unresponsive to pain.
And they have a lack of concern for U.S. politics.
Much like most of our citizens.
Very true. Now, you need to prepare yourself for the zombie attack.
And this is a 4-step process.
There's four things. There's food, water, shelter, and weapons.
Now, for food, you should start stocking up on MREs right now.
And vegetarian MREs, just in case you find a liberal survivor hippie.
Okay, as far as water, I would suggest using bathtubs and water cisterns to store your water, along with the use of a water purification system.
Now, you can also use your own waste as compost to grow your own food later on. Now, for shelter, we recommend barricading windows and doors, of course.
You should also demolish your stairs, as zombies can't climb up stairs that aren't there.
Now, make sure you avoid spotlights. They tend to draw in zombies like flies or mosquitoes.
Yeah. Any other tips on shelter we should share with them, Steve?
I think that's about it. I think we need to move on to weapons.
Weapons. This is the most important part. The zombies are hard to kill, and for that, you need the best.
Now, we generally disregard firearms in their use, as they tend to run out of ammunition.
But edged weapons never run out of stab. Such as my personal favorite, my daily carry katana, which is great for hacking and slashing through zombies. Wouldn't you agree?
I would. Now, make sure you get a good katana with a good steel and full tang, so you can hack through a lot of zombies before you need to replace it.
Another critical weapon to the zombie apocalypse is your classic stainless steel Opinel, because really, ask any enthusiast, it's all the knife you need.
Very true. And for a multi-purpose tool, I would recommend a tomahawk. It's got a solid oak handle, heavy steel blade, you can hack through a lot of zombies, cut through trees if you need in a survival situation.
This is true. Hey Steve, would you like to show him the rapier?
I would actually. I also recommend carrying a rapier, as there is no single better weapon for stabbing through zombies' heads and getting at their brains than a good rapier.
It's true. Now, I would recommend, after you're done stabbing a few zombies, you should treat this steel with a tough cloth or some such other steel treatment. Because there's nothing worse than being out after a day of stabbing zombies and, you're exhausted and you come back home and your blade is already starting to corrode.
You can see here we've gone through a few zombies and haven't taken the time to clean this blade, and their corrosive blood has started to eat away at the steel.
Now, you'll typically find yourself with zombies in a tactical, on-the-ground fighting situation, which is where an orange-handled knife, such as this Kershaw Zing, comes in handy because it's easier to keep it in your frame of view.
Now, if you're doing a night op where you need to kill a few zombies, I'd recommend this CRKT Richard Hammond ABC design knife. It's got a black anti-reflective coating on it,
Which is crucial.
Most crucial, and it's got a good edge steel, so you can cut through a few zombies at a time.
Now, a crucial weapon for the combat with zombies is a nice 1800s style
long rifleman's knife.
Thank you. This is great for hacking and slashing your way through those zombies because they have unusually soft limbs and partially broken bones already. You could sever a limb in one swing with this puppy.
Now, I'd also recommend carrying daily on you is a good police baton. It's got a good heavy steel construction, so you can actually cleave your way through a few zombies if you need to clear a path to safety.
Or, they're so dumb you can just beat them out of your way, like liberals.
Very true. Now, I also carry a couple of throwing knives whenever I go out, especially if I'm hunting zombies. There's no better tool for taking out a couple zombies silently at 20 feet than a good throwing knife.
That's true. Now, I would always have a nice serrated edged weapon on you for deconstructing the zombie bodies and putting them in trash bags, because you're going to have to do something with all that carnage when you're done with it.
Now, you don't want the zombies sitting around, so you always need to make sure you field dress your zombies properly. For that, I carry a relatively medium-sized folder, such as this Benchmade Deja Vu. It's got a good edge on it.
That's a Bob Lum design, isn't it?
It is, actually. It's got a nice...
God rest his soul.
He's actually got a nice hollow grind on here, so you can cut through some zombie joints.
It's really killer. And a standard clip point style boot knife is great for piercing blows, which I found isn't that effective against zombies, but again, it is against liberals.
Now, I think that covers about everything we have for today. Why don't you go and tell them about next week's program?
Next week we'll be covering some of the other basics of how to deal with the zombie invasion, such as what to do when the shit really hits the fan, as well as how to rebuild society after the zombie apocalypse is over. Because you're going to have to do something. The liberals will return, and they are going to try to take your guns. Good night.